rAVe Radio. With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K. Hi everyone, this is Gary K. and welcome back to another pre-ISE videocast. And this time I'm with Francesco Ziliani, who is the CEO of SpinetiX. Francesco, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you very much. We've talked a few times during the pandemic. I miss seeing you in person, but I'll be excited to see you in Barcelona here in just a couple of weeks. It's interesting. We were talking offline about how I think a lot of people are going to go to ISE not necessarily looking for products, but looking for friendships and sort of rekindling friendships. And that's going to kind of be the focus of your stand. You're going to be in, well, the first place you're going to be, we're going to talk about a couple of other places you're going to be. First place you're going to be in your primary stand is going to be 3R100. Talk about sort of your philosophy, because I know that hospitality is a market that you're in, but also you want to make that part of the aura of your stand this year.
Yes, Gary, you're right. It's true that everyone plans to go to ISE this time to have an in-person show, to reconnect with the AV industry, of course, to experience what I think is very important, the in-person networking.
Yeah.
And of course, technology is important. And as we are not meeting since a few years now, in Europe at least, we look at how many things we have added to the product, how many features. And we felt it was impossible to have a list of all this explained. It would have been perhaps too much or too much confusing. So this year with the team, we really have done a choice to choose a theme, and the theme of hospitality for our presence at ISE. Why? Because we believe hospitality will play an important role in recovering from COVID crisis in all industries, not only hotel or restaurants. Think about the challenge of work from home that corporations now have. And investing in hospitality, how to welcome, how to onboard people, how to make them feeling better, how to help them, is going to be for us a key challenge in the coming years. And I think digital signage has a big role to play there. We can help delivering relevant, personalized, and consistent content and welcome messages, and also cost-effective hospitality, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I was going to agree with you. In fact, you're going through this yourself, going back to work during the pandemic or prior to the pandemic. You had a plan to open up a new headquarters. Then during the pandemic, it all happened. You're in your new building now, which is very impressive. I hope to come take a tour of it this fall, the Millennium building there in Switzerland. I'd like to have you kind of talk about what your sort of your vision for going back to work is, and sort of how you're handling this too, because in real life, you're able to use your own, especially your cloud-based system, Aria. I would think that this is kind of a unique opportunity for you to kind of leverage that cloud-based product that you have, and kind of by using it yourself, figure out how your customers are going to use it.
Yes, you are perfectly right. I mean, the project of our new corporate is a very important project to us, not only because it's going to be our new home in the coming years, but because it also changes the way we work as a team. And as you know, we have more than 15 years experience in digital signage. And for us, this was an opportunity to install huge LEDs, vertical, horizontal screens, interactive screens, data-driven screens. So all the features we have and developed will find their applications. And we understand that despite we are in a corporate environment, hospitality plays a huge role, because like in a 5-star hotel, you want someone that talks to you, that tells you important things for you at that moment. So we believe hospitality services, we are going to learn a lot. We are going to develop a lot in the future. And we want to inspire this at ISE. And how we want to do that, we are going to try to explain references in hospitality. And we have found very interesting references on top of Millennium. We are going to disclose some of the things we have developed in Millennium, but we have as well a very good customer of ours, a conference center, CCIB, which is part of FIRA, which is a customer since many years, and we are going to talk how they use digital signage to welcome people. EasyJet hotel chain is the hotel where we are staying during the show. They are using as well digital signage to welcome. Different ways to welcome, the same tool. We need to learn better and more.
Yeah, you've developed some interesting partnerships, and one of the things I think that's maybe misunderstood about you because you started as a player manufacturer. That was the core thing, was you had this SD based player that was really cool, really tightly integrated, and it was HD at the time. Now you've gone on to build even more impressive players that do all sorts of things, completely network based. And as I mentioned, Aria, which is a cloud-based system. I'm really impressed with Aria and where Aria has come. You built your own sort of infrastructure in and around a cloud-based system. I'd like you to talk about that, but I also would like for you to talk about how you've opened up your platform and made it available to Intel NUCs, for example. Pretty much any media player now can host SpinetiX. And by the way, you should check out SpinetiX if you're not familiar with it, SpinetiX.com. Francesco, talk about those things.
Yes, so it's true that on top of having our booth in all three, and it's a completely new booth, we have really designed it to be very open without barriers to welcome to, hospitality is also how to welcome people. This year we have been invited to be part of the Intel booth, which is on Hall 2. And of course, the main purpose there is to reinforce our technology relationship with Intel, but we are going to be able to show our audience and the people will visit that booth that our operating system can as well be installed on NUC, on SDM modules, so the modules you can put behind the screen. And these open a lot of options to personalize, to answer specific needs of digital signage. And so I really invite people who may not know Intel products very well in the scope of digital signage to come visiting us as well in the Intel booth and to learn more on that site. But I'm sure people will find it quite exciting.
Where do you see the future of digital signage? There's a lot of reports coming out about how television advertising is down and there's a loss of investment in the traditional advertising media. To me, being someone who teaches digital advertising, it seems like digital signage is going to catch a lot of that money because the out-of-home market is still big, right? I mean, people are now going back, you mentioned restaurants and hotels, but also transportation corridors and cities and retail environments. People are going back because they want to be outside. They want to be, even bus stops and parks and museums and places like that. I would think that you would be a catalyst for helping that segment, that part of advertising money come into digital signage and maybe even make that part of programmatic. Like, what are your efforts with regard to that?
Well, you need to remember that SpinetiX mission in life is to make our customers autonomous in answering whatever application in digital signage they have today and they will have in future. So that is really our mission. I'm not gonna substitute myself to their job. I believe that today we have an amazing ecosystem, integrators, system integrators, partners that are really focusing, they are really investing in future, experimenting. And we need this, let's say, inspiration from them. And that is what we want to transfer, because the digital signage is a so huge amount of opportunities, from military to the small shop, education, that it would be possible to be the best in each one of them, the number one in each one of them. So we put ourselves a bit back we are there to support our ecosystem to make them autonomous, so that if they want to do automation, if they want to do advertisement, if they want to do interactivity, if they want to do, their private 4K TV channel, or their stream out to YouTube, live YouTube, they can do it. And in our booth, we are going to talk as well about live agents and how to mix it in digital signage. That is one example of how integrators can, let's say, use our solution to develop their own added value.
Yeah, live agents very interesting. It's basically allows you to integrate a human to kiosk applications, for lack of a better term, inside of retail environments, hospitality environments, even virtual concierge services.
Absolutely.
Using digital signage, which is something I think prior to the pandemic we wouldn't even have really thought of.
You're right.
But I think that, and it marries. It's interesting because it marries UCC and signage together. It's a good marry between, and both those segments of the market have been growing very rapidly. If you're not already an integrator or a dealer for SpinetiX, you should be. SpinetiX.com. Francesco Ziliani, CEO of SpinetiX. I'm excited for my personal invitation to your headquarters coming sometime this fall. In the meantime, we'll see you at ISE in Barcelona, and of course at Infocom in Las Vegas. I appreciate you joining me for this video cast.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand soon.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, physically. So everyone, thanks for joining us. This has been a little ISE preview of what we're going to see in Barcelona in a couple of weeks with SpinetiX. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves.